Most men think women are complicated. The truth is they are patterned. And once you see the pattern, every relationship you ever had will suddenly make sense. Especially the seventh one, because it has been controlling your life without you knowing it. Women carry psychological vulnerabilities they rarely admit even to themselves. Understanding these changes everything you thought you knew about attraction, and the seventh one has been hiding in plain sight your entire life. Most men are never taught this truth. They are taught to believe women are emotional mysteries, unpredictable and impossible to understand. That story sounds comforting, but it is incomplete. The real truth is far more precise. Every human being operates from specific psychological pressure points, places where defenses soften and reactions are revealed. Women are no different. They have 7 such vulnerabilities that quietly shape almost every decision they make in relationships. This knowledge is not about manipulation, it is about clarity, because ignorance creates suffering. You may have spent years confused, wondering why she suddenly pulled away when things felt perfect, why she tested you when you were being honest, why logic failed when emotions took over. This is not about control, it is about understanding. When you grasp the structure of female psychology, you stop taking things personally, you stop feeling ambushed, you begin to see patterns instead of chaos, and patterns separate the man who understands from the man who stays lost. Philosophy teaches that knowing yourself leads to freedom, but knowing the other leads to peace. What follows can change how you view every relationship you have had and every one still to come. Psychology has mapped attraction and attachment for decades. The work of Gottman, Bowlby, and Ainsworth all point to one conclusion: humans are patterned, not random, and women operate from frameworks that are ancient and predictable. These are not defects, they are survival mechanisms, shaped over thousands of years. But in the modern world, they often cause confusion and conflict. What follows is not theory, it is observation repeated across cultures, ages, and experiences. The science is settled. The only question is whether you are ready to see clearly. So go deeper, slow down, and pay attention, because once these patterns become visible, they cannot be unseen. The first vulnerability is emotional projection. She needs you to feel what she feels, not analyze it, not fix it, but experience it with her. When she is anxious, she unconsciously wants you anxious. When she is joyful, she wants that mirrored. When she is sad, she wants you there with her. This emotional syncing is how her brain tests connection. When you jump to solutions, she feels unheard, not because logic is wrong, but because connection was missing. Oxytocin increases when emotions are shared. Her mind reads that as safety. When you stay calm and distant, her system can interpret that stability as disconnection. The balance is acknowledgement without absorption. You recognize her feelings without becoming consumed by them. You remain grounded while she moves through emotion, and over time she learns that feelings pass, but your presence remains. The second vulnerability is her attraction to uncertainty. Predictability drains desire from her system. Dopamine thrives on the unknown. When outcomes are guaranteed, excitement fades. This is why intensity often cools once things feel secure. Too much certainty dulls attraction, while too much uncertainty creates anxiety. The answer is not games, but depth. Having a life that does not revolve around her. Having standards, purpose, and independence. When you are genuinely willing to walk away, uncertainty exists naturally, but it only works when it is real. A full life creates mystery without effort. The third vulnerability is fear of social invisibility. She is wired to monitor how she is perceived, because exclusion once meant death. Her mind constantly scans social environments, managing image and status. This is why appearance matters, why preparation matters, why your presence reflects on her. You are part of her social signal. When you carry confidence and respect, it elevates her. When you do Not it threatens her sense of safety. This is not vanity, it is instinct to become a man others respect and notice, not for her approval, but for your own growth, and you will fulfill a need she may never explain. The fourth vulnerability is her inability to maintain attraction toward full emotional exposure. She may say she wants openness, but oversharing weakness erodes polarity. Her subconscious looks for strength, not perfection. When you reveal unresolved helplessness, attraction can fade not from cruelty, but from biology. She wants humanity anchored in stability. Share struggles you have overcome, not wounds. Still bleeding. Vulnerability must come from strength, not collapse. Attraction needs tension, one steady center amid emotional motion. The fifth vulnerability is her fixation on potential. She often falls in love with who you could become, not who you are. This keeps her invested in relationships built on hope rather than reality. But potential is endless and reality is fixed. When she finally sees the imagined future will not arrive, she leaves suddenly, and the man is left confused. The truth is, if she loves potential, she loves a fantasy, and fantasies always break, become rooted in who you are now, not who she imagines you might be. A woman who loves your reality stays. A woman who loves potential waits, then leaves. The sixth vulnerability is her need for hierarchical approval. She constantly compares herself to others, measuring value. There is always competition, always ranking. This creates chronic insecurity. She needs to feel chosen above all others. Words cannot satisfy this. Only status can. When you are a man with options, standards, and self-respect, your choice of her carries weight. She feels validated not because you praise her, but because you could choose differently. Yet do not. Self-improvement is not about impressing her, it is about making your choice meaningful. The seventh vulnerability is her fear of masculine indifference. Attention is the true currency. When she has your focus, she feels alive. When she loses it, panic sets in. This is why she tests, creates drama or conflict. She wants proof you still care, but caring too much destroys attraction, while not caring at all triggers abandonment. Fear. She lives in this paradox, needing your investment, but fearing dependence. The solution is outcome independence as a lifestyle. You care without needing, enjoy without clinging, value without worship. That balance is rare and powerful. The man who masters it becomes irreplaceable because he gives security without suffocation, interest without obsession. These seven patterns have always been present, shaping every interaction. Now you see them. Knowledge does not make you manipulative, it makes you responsible. You can use it to grow or to harden. The information is neutral. Your character decides the outcome. Ignoring reality does not make you virtuous, it makes you blind, and blind men stumble. Open your eyes, see the structure, and become the kind of man who does not exploit vulnerabilities because his presence naturally fulfills them. That is maturity, that is strength, that is the difference between reacting and understanding. The choice was always yours. You simply could not see it until now.